Let's talk about break shots. Wouldn't it be great if we could figure out a way to control it? I thought for a long time that break shots were essentially random, but recently I set out on a quest to see if I could control it. I want to have a break shot where I always make a ball and the table is wide open. That seems impossible, right? I thought it would take me about 3 to 6 months to work on this to kind of get close. Boy, was I wrong. I did it in about an hour, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to show you the entire hour that it took for me to find my break shot. But through the magic of post-production, I'm going to compress that hour down to about 10 minutes, just for you. You're welcome. You see me struggling here to get a tight rack. When using the triangle, I kept getting gaps in the rack, so I decided to switch to a magic rack to force the rack to be tighter. It's super important that you have a tight rack with no gaps between the balls, but that's a topic that I'm going to cover in a different video. There are two types of break shots. The first one is called the aggressive break, and that's typically where you hit the head ball straight on, really hard, and you're trying to spread all the balls so that you can run the table. And that's really what this video is about. The second type is what I call a defensive break, and that's where you typically hit the second ball in the rack, but you hit it as full as you can. This break increases your chances of making the 8 ball in the break, but it also tends to create a lot of clusters on the table, and so it makes the table really hard to run. I'll cover defensive breaks in another video. See me pointing around the table there? What I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out the routes I would need to run in order to run the table. Yep, there's a thumbs up. I'm pretty confident I could run that. For this workout, I want to find a break that'll give me two key things. First, I absolutely have to make a ball in the break, period. No exceptions. I must have control of the table immediately after the break. The second key thing is I want all the balls to be spread wide open with no clusters on the table. If I can achieve these two objectives, I know that I can run the table about 90% of the time. So mastering this aggressive break shot is really important. Well, that wasn't good. I'm experimenting with two variables. The first one is where do I put the cue ball on the head string? The second one is how do I want to make contact with the head ball? For cue ball locations, I decided to experiment with two locations, here and here. I've tried breaking from other locations, but historically, these two locations seem to work the best for me. I'm also trying to hold everything else fixed. Stance, follow through, head height, break speed, etc. After each break shot, I'm keeping track of the following items: the cue ball location, the fractional hit on the head ball, the number of balls I made on the break, my subjective evaluation of the table spread, and I'm going to use a scale from like 1 to 10, with 10 being great. And then if I made a ball, I'm trying to estimate my ability to be able to run the table from that point on. And I'll assign that a value anywhere from 0 to 100%. And I'm also going to keep track of any scratches. One thing that I didn't mention here is break speed. I've learned that I get much better results if I only use about 30 to 50% of my maximum power. My mechanics and my ability to control the pull cue are much better in this range. Wow, that was a stinker. I made a ball. Now I'm trying to figure out if I can run it. Probably not. Ooh, I scratched. That's not good. Messy. That's no good. At this point, I'm getting frustrated with the left side brake. I don't like the spreads I'm getting, so I'm going to switch over to the center brake position. Now that's just about a perfect brake. One ball down and the table is completely free and clear. I'm almost certainly out from there. Let's see if we could do that again. Of course not. Look at that spread though. If that 11 ball had dropped, I'd definitely be out. Another great spread, but no ball went down. Had to wait for that ball, but that's a good spread. For this break, watch the side pocket on the right hand side. The 15 ball and the 2 ball come out of the rack from positions 2 and 3. They both almost drop in the side. I noticed this several times while doing breaks from the center. Let's see if it happens again. Yep, the 11 and the 5, and the 11 drops. And look at that beautiful spread. I am absolutely running that rack every time. Will it happen again? Sweet. I don't know why I gave that a 70. Being modest, I guess. In watching this, I can tell that I hit that brake too hard. The 14 ball missed the side, but the 4 dropped in right behind it. That's very interesting. That's a great spread, but nothing dropped. Well, I made one, but the brake was a bit of a dud. I probably didn't rack that correctly. Wow, nearly perfect. One ball down and a pretty good spread. I'm starting to understand the variables that may affect the two balls that are behind the head ball. Hey, check this out. I'm starting to feel so confident that on this rack, I actually call the second ball to the side pocket. How arrogant is that? Well, let's see if it happens. I think I can control the variables that I need to control. Oh, that was close. Okay, I'm calling it again. Hitting the center of the cue ball, aiming just a hair to the left of the center of the head ball, smooth follow through, firm speed. And there it is. I made 3 balls and got a great spread. At this point, I'm starting to feel pretty good about this break. So, in summary, after reviewing all of my results, my best break shot was putting the cue ball about 6 inches to the right of the center spot, hitting the head ball with about a 1/8 to 1/16 fractional hit to the left of the center of the head ball. My tip placement, which I don't think I mentioned here, I was always trying to hit the center of mass of the cue ball. So no side spin, no follow, no draw. I'm just trying to hit center of mass. And the brake speed, I would call firm. It's maybe about 40% of my maximum speed. Using this brake, I got fairly consistent results. I was usually making a ball and I was usually getting a pretty good spread. These are the results that I got on a 9-foot table, but they may not translate to a bar box table. And that could be an issue because most of the national tournaments that I go to are played on bar boxes. So I'll need to do some work on that. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe so that you are notified when I drop new videos. Also, if you have ideas for future videos, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. I hope you shoot well.